Hey, I'm Bryson with Trick Tools. I'm going to welcome you guys back to our final episode of our drag bike body series. In this episode, we're going to show you guys the process that we took to take the body from the kind of brushed finish that it was to this semi-polished finish that we have on it now. And when we're all done with that process, we're going to take the bike out to the drag strip to have some fun with it. To show you guys how we got the body out to this semi-polished finish, we're going to step over here to the table and talk about some of the tools that we used to get there. We started sanding the body and then used a body file, hammer and dolly to really even out some of the highs and lows in the panels. And then once we got it where we wanted it, it was D8 out to 150 grit, and then 240, 400, 800, and then 1200. And then after that, we used a 3000 grit Trizac pad for the DA. In there you saw, like I said, some of the hammer and dolly work. We used some of these bullseye picks to really give us the pinpoint accuracy to bring out some of the imperfections in the body. The body file, again, was used to really fine tune some of those areas that we really wanted to get nice and smooth. So that's what you're going to see, so enjoy. All right, so the process for sanding the body to expose some of the highs and lows, like I said, it would start with a foam sanding block, and then basically sanding on the body. I have a 150 grit DA pad just stuck on here, and it's not too aggressive, so it's not digging into the surface on this soft aluminum too much. It's just basically scuffing the surface enough to expose the differences in the surface. So once we get it sanded up, you can start to see, there's some little areas where, the sanding block hits around here. So we've got a tiny bit of lows in here. So we'll kind of sand around the corner to make sure this all looks correct in this area. So basically that's the simple process, on areas where the panel feels pretty smooth overall. So we're going to keep on doing this, and then we'll do some hammer and dolly work around the body, and just show you guys how it's all done. All right, so to talk for a minute about what you've seen here, like I said, we started with a foam block with some DA paper on it to scuff the surface to expose some of the highs and lows. Then we did a little bit of hammer and dolly work to begin to even those areas out. And then from there, I did use a little bit of filing with body files. I've got two different types. This one's more of a finer file, and then this one's a little bit more aggressive, but not too aggressive is where to damage the surface of the aluminum. So at that point, the files really expose a little bit more of the highs and lows, like the finer highs and lows. And then from there, did a little more hammer and dolly work and then some filing to really get those to disappear. And then we used the DA sander with a 150 grit disc on it to smooth out the surface. So from here, everywhere I've gotten to that point will now be ready to take into 240 grit DA and then 400, 800, and 1200. So those areas be ready for that. But obviously we still have the rest of the body to do as far as the sanding and filing and some hammer and dolly work. So we're just going to continue doing that and get working to getting this body finished out. All right, so we have all the metal finishing as far as the hammer and dolly work and the smoothing finished up on the rear and the sides of the body. Now we've moved forward to the tank area, so we're going to keep working on this area to smooth it out, get it caught up with the rear. Once that's done, then it's just going to be a matter of DA sanding the body. Currently the rear is in 150 grit, then we'll step up to the 240, then 400, 800, and 1200. So once we get all the hammer and dolly work and the smoothing done on the front part of the tank, then we'll continue to do that with the DA on the whole body, and then we'll be just about done with the metal finishing process and getting this body out to a nice semi-polished finish. Well, we had a lot of fun out at the track. We took the bike out to Eddyville Raceway in Eddyville, Iowa, and first pass was a 471 at 155 miles an hour. The second pass was a 460 at 153 miles an hour. It was a lot of fun to see the body out in its natural environment and get to put it through its paces and see how it looks out on the track. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this series. Hope you learned something and can apply some of what we used here on projects that you're working on at home. So stay tuned to our YouTube channel for more videos on projects like this one, and also videos that we do on some of the tools that we use independently. So really appreciate you guys sticking along for this series, and we'll see you soon.